Yeah. Okay, right. So I'm not sure why it's not recognizing those the options and string and stuff. That's a bit weird. And like, it's not, the string is in red. Like, it doesn't recognize what a string is, which cannot. What version of Java? If you go to where is it? File, project settings, project structure, and then one. Yeah. So if you just click on the drop-down menu, yeah. Where is one? It doesn't seem to have a problem with 1.8. I think I use 1.8, but I'm just wondering if that's a correct installation of 1.8. Like, it's got it in red, which makes me think there's something wrong with that 1.8. Maybe, yeah. Maybe if you can get Java 8, you can get the OpenJDK, or you can get OpenJDK is fine. I don't know what Zulu is. Try the. Yeah, this one looks. Try just. I think. Let me just double check. I've definitely got.
Yeah, so there's a few options you can do.
Yeah, I'm using. Let me just send you. I mean, I'm using Ubuntu versions, but I'm using 10.0.2. But I think Java 8, it's fine, or whichever. Yeah, you can use Java 10 or Java 8. It doesn't really matter. But the OpenJDK is fine.
So obviously,
yeah, or the Oracle one. The Oracle one's fine as well. Yeah, well, it's quite useful. So yeah, that should be fine. If it's under, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so for us, we use Great. I'll work on that. Yeah, so right. Yeah. Oh.
That looks like it's going to take a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
So, basically, I'll send in slides to you after this. Basically, so, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty simple. A little harder for basic code because you can specify like
Okay. I mean, while that's going, we can just talk about what we'll need. So we're going to need an IntelliJ. We're going to need an options file. So I don't know what we want to call this new pipeline. Maybe vehicles, something like that. Vehicle options. So yeah, we'll be creating a new pipeline. Yeah, vehicles pipeline. It's yeah, leave it in the same. Classes tend to be this way, and then camel case for the variables and method names. And then we just need a static main method. So just like we had in the other pipelines branch, customers. This one throws exceptions because it tries to read text files, but for now we won't read any text files. So you just need the curly brackets. Okay, now we need to, well, this is the first class, but of course we need an options file. So on the left-hand side, you have pipelines, options, function, common. So under options, you'll need to create a new file just above. Yeah. Yeah. So and then we'll just call this vehicles pipeline options. Same format as we've already done. Yeah, an interface. I mean, it's completely up to you what you call it, but yeah, I tend to just stick. Yeah, vehicles options or vehicles pipeline options or whatever. It's fine. You can always change it later on. Okay, so now if you extend, if the interface, you'll need to extend base options. Yeah. So again, you can sort of see. You can see based on like branch pipeline options or branch. So if you open up like the branch inv options or something, you'll see that extends base options. Yeah.
Just confirm whether you think that's something you want to do or whether you actually want to test it either way. Maybe that is repeat. I would suggest use case. What we'll do is we'll have a session to identify the data. So that's what data is in this use case. We want the database to be related to the and once we have that, we will
no, you'll use base options because base options extends data flow pipeline options, so you just need to extend base options. Yeah. Okay. And now we actually, for this pipeline, for the vehicles pipeline, we actually need two files. So we need to define here carriage. What we need to carriage. We'll need like you'll basically need again like a description of validation required, a value provider string, but instead of here you've got like get table, you would then say get carriage file, and you can see how we've done this for other pipelines. So if you look at branch options, branch pipeline options, you can see that has two files and how we're referring to them, how we define them, and so we can do the same thing for this pipeline because there'll be two files. So you could just copy and paste those, and we'll just change the yeah, not yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you'll want to import all those. You'll need to change the name. The name has been changed to branch pipeline options here, but so you'll need to change. You can just change you can just edit the file. You don't need to. So you can just, you're in vehicles option. So just where it says after public interface, double click, highlight branch pipeline options and change it to vehicles options. In vehicles options. So it says public interface. Well, you want this. It's just displaying it like this because you've got a different name for the file and a different name for the class or the interface. Vehicles options. Okay, yeah. So now instead of like branch additional information CSV files, so on line 11, we need to change this to, the carriage header K type file, and you see what I mean? We need, yeah, and we'll need to change the method name on line 13, the method name on line 15. We'll need to do the same for the second set of method calls as well. Carried, yeah, exactly. So, you'll need to change the method. You'll probably want to change the method names because get branch add info is specific to the branch pipeline. So change it to like get branch, get carriage file, something like that. You don't. It's not an info. The branch, the information part is part of the file name for the branch, so you don't need it here. So again, it's not a carriage information file. It's a carriage file. Yeah, get carriage. That's fine. Get carriage file. Yeah, either's fine. And then you need to change on line 15. It says set branch add info. You'll need to change that to set carriage file. That's all done. So branch CSV again. We need to change this now to K-type CSV file. And then instead of get branch, you want get K-type or get K-type file. And then set K-type file for on line 21 instead of set branch. All right, cool. So we've now set up our options, and these are the command line parameters. So now back in vehicles pipeline, under pipelines, vehicles pipeline, it's under the pipelines. It's not an option. So now we can say, just like in other pipelines, we can say, you know, if you look at branch inf pipeline, you can see how we've done this in the others. You know, we've said branch inf options, and then we've got this whole pipelines options factory from ARGS with validation as branch inf options. We can do the same thing in the vehicles, but again, we're going to be using the vehicles options. We're not going to be using branch inf options. Yeah. You're changing this all to vehicles options. You're using vehicles options, what we just created. Yeah, you might as well click Alt Enter. Yeah. And then you'll need to change the branch inf options at the start of line 15 as well. Okay, so that's yeah, don't need that. All right, so now again, looking at like branch inf pipeline, you'll be able to see, like I think, or any of the other pipelines. Yeah, we now create the pipeline, I think. So yeah, just copy all of that. Okay. Right, so you have a basic pipeline, but you don't have anything being done in it, and obviously that method execute branch pipeline doesn't exist. We should change that to execute vehicles pipeline, because you don't want to execute the branch pipeline. Yeah, and we should now create the method in this same class. In vehicles pipeline, we should create a new method, execute vehicles pipeline. So you'll need to go to the closing brackets of the main method. Yeah, new method, execute vehicles pipeline. No, sorry. So the main, where it says public static void main, that is a main method. You'll need to create another method outside of that called, but it needs to be outside the main method. And Yeah, so here just do, and instead of main, just we'll call this execute vehicles pipeline. Yeah, and suggest that. And then we need to change the arguments here because we've fed in a pipeline P object and also the vehicles options. So where it says string bracket bracket args, we'll change that on line 35. We're changing it to pipeline P. So you could see on line 21, we called this method with P and options. So we need to now feed in the pipeline and the vehicles options. No. So we need to. So instead of string and args, we need to get rid of those brackets and the args. So yeah, and then it's pipeline. Yeah, uppercase P. So yeah, so then yeah, exactly, pipeline and then space P. Yeah, and then you'll also need vehicles options, because that's what you fed in on line 21. So you need to create your method signature. So after pipeline P, it's comma space vehicles options space options. In non-camel case. Yep. Yep. And then just call it options. Okay. So now if you look again at like branch, any other pipeline, branch pipeline, customer pipeline, lookup pipeline, not lookup pipeline. If you look at branch pipeline, for example, so you can see we have something similar. We have private static void, execute on line 41, execute branch pipeline, or pipeline P. There's a slight change because we refactored something. It's changed multiple classes. So it's changed it. You can see on line 41, this is branch pipeline, but it's using vehicles options for some reason. And that's so you'll need to wherever, if you do Control R, and then we'll just change anytime it says vehicles options, we'll change that to branch pipeline options. Yeah, and just replace all. Okay. All right, so that's gone back to how it was. I mean, yeah, it's fine anyway. Oh, you'll need to, it'll be, if you scroll up to the imports in this class, so there it says, on line 7, it says import com data tuning options, vehicles options. Change the vehicles options again to, not sure why that didn't get changed. Change that to branch pipeline options. Yeah. Right, cool, that's fine. Oh no, it didn't on line 29, again, it still says vehicles options. I'm not sure what happened there. So it should be branch pipeline options. And then at the end of that line 29 as well, it also has a branch of vehicles options that you'll need to change. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, so but basically all what we needed to look at here was the execute branch pipeline method, so we can see how it works and use this. So on line 33, you call execute branch pipeline method. We're not changing it. We're just looking at it, and we'll use the same functionality. So yeah. So if you scroll down a bit, so you can see we've got we create this map and we feed in both, like in this case, we feed in both branch add info and the branch. In the vehicles options case, you would feed in both the options.carriage get carriage file and the options.get k-type file against with some names like right table name. Your table name for carriage could just be carriage, and your table name for the left table name could just be k-type or whatever. It's honestly, it's just for labeling at this point. So if you basically copy and paste from line 42 to line 47, and we'll do something similar in the vehicles pipeline. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So where it says left table name, let's change branch to on line 39. Let's change the branch string to carriage. Oh no. So change branch. Yeah. Control Z to go back. Yeah. Carriage, and then change this one to k-type. Should be a single string. Like, don't include spaces. It's just better practice. And then on line 43, you say there's options get branch add info. Change that to options dot get k-type, because your right table name in this case is k-type. Yeah, get k-type file. And then again on line 44, change get branch to get carriage file. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. So again, if you look back at the branch pipeline, you can see what we do next, which is reading in the inputs. So if you go to branch pipeline, and you can see on line 49, we read in the inputs, and then on line 50, actually let's just do line, both those lines, 49 and 50. Okay, yeah. We'll now want to create, so simplify is another method, so we'll need to create a simplify method. So and it'll just be like public static void. It's just simplify. There's no method. Yeah. And here you're feeding in this horrible map object on line 48, map of string of p collection of list of kv. You can just copy and paste from map to not all the way up to the last angular bracket. Yeah, exactly that. So that's the object, and then call that pipelines. So after the last angular bracket, just put space pipelines. Inside the curly, inside the. Yeah, I think you need the. Oh yeah, no, the default. That's something that Google, that Beam has. Has the Java JDK finished downloading yet? Okay, should we try and install that? Okay. I think that's all we need to do, really. We just now need an IntelliJ to set up to use that JDK. So oh yeah, yeah, you might, yeah. Well, let's if you want to change the path, then feel free to do that. Oh, okay. We can carry on when you get back. That's fine. Obviously, if people are getting up and leaving, maybe best to go. That's no problem. We can